It's another beautiful day here on Fortnite Island. I'm Andy Marker and welcome to one of the most celebrated events in the Fortnite Olympic Games. Yes, it's the 2-mile dash. Today we've got 3 very talented athletes going head to head for the gold, but before we meet them, here's a brief track overview and rules refresher. Today in this very interesting event, our 3 racers will be dropping at the foot of Moisty Mire, where they will then make their way up to the base of Junk Junction. First racer to arrive will win the title, the medallion, and a huge V-Bucks prize. Looks like a pretty clear track up until the wannabe Golden Gate Bridge, where from then on things will get a bit more treacherous. Following that, we've got the brand new Dusty Divot, the ominous Tilted Towers, and then Pleasant Park rounding off the lot. Due to the high chance of running into enemy squads, I think we can expect some early looting from our athletes. Speaking of athletes, let's meet today's right now. 23-year-old Bob Barry has been competing in these events since 2010. In his free time, Bob enjoys eating, sleeping, and the occasional enchilada. Oh, hang on a sec, that's my personal bio. You may recall Mr. Barry from the 2014 games where he took out the gold, and he'll be planning on repeating that feat today. Jim Morris is one of our younger competitors. In fact, he turned 19 just last Tuesday. Would you look at those biceps? This is only his second Olympic appearance, and at the pre-race press conference, he confirmed he's ready to smash the potato. Not quite sure what potatoes have to do with racing, but I do know one truth, and that is you'll have to run a lot faster than a potato if you plan on beating this lad. Rounding off this lineup is veteran racer Andy Blake. Yeah, don't ask. Andy is currently 86 years old and has been competing in these events since 1967. A whopping many number of years. Fans of the sport are happy to see him return to the stage after a rough season last year. Blake suffered from large nose disease, and this began to take its toll on his racing career. It's good to see he's ready to take on the youngsters once again. Looks like we'll be good to go in just a moment. Final preparations are being made. Look at the focus on the face of each athlete. Oh, and look at those biceps. The countdown has begun. Little false start there from Blake, but the judges won't mind as our competitors race towards the swamp before them. Blake and Barry dashing out in the lead, quickly bearing down on that chest, obviously hoping it'll contain some helpful resources, or better yet, an ice cold gelato or two. Blake opens and immediately snatches all the loot right under Barry's nose. Barry's coach is going to be very disappointed with that. He didn't even put up a fight. Barry doesn't give a crap at the moment because he's our current leader and yes, he's spotted something. All competitors are searching for those all-important healing items as they generally come in very handy later in the race. Oh, and even contains some meds. Barry's searching of that chest gave Blake some time to catch up, and he's neck and neck with Barry once again. It looks like they spotted something on the far side of that tree. Yep, it's just a standard revolver, but Barry quickly snatches it. Sounds like Blake has paused to mine another tree, but meanwhile Morris, who has been searching for loot items, catches up and moves into second place. It's only for a brief moment though, because Blake is off again, closing the gap between him and the Kingpin. Oh, and it looks like he's spotted something. Well, there's a rather obtrusive mangrove tree obstructing my vision, but the sideline sources tell me he's managed to acquire some meds of his own. As our leaders exit the swamp, the overall med tally is 10. Blake with 5 bandages, Barry's also got 5, but Morris is still on 0. Barry approaching the first structure of our race with Blake not far behind. Both racers will be looking to increase their med tally. Jim Morris is really tailing at this point. He'll be hoping our leaders run into some enemy squads. Barry heading for the nearest door. Oh, no, looks like they've encountered a man. Blake prepares for combat. Barry's like, nah, see you later, alligator, and off he goes. Oh dear, he's an angry man. Meanwhile, Morris appears to be running the wrong way. Very interesting tactic from Morris. Back to Barry, who's Forrest Gumping his way right out of the situation in his wake, heading towards the wannabe Golden Gate Bridge. It won't be long until Blake realizes he's outmatched 2-1 and follows Barry's example. Yep, here he comes. He's taking more fire than the American sniper, but you can see those resources he collected earlier coming in very handy. Pops off a few rounds himself just to prove he's not a coward, and then dashes towards the wannabe Golden Gate Bridge faster than you can say. She sells blood, is she sure? God, I hate that one. I'm curious to see how Morris deals with this situation, as he is on the wrong side of the angry man. I think we're about to find out. Oh, he's going in all guns blazing. Manages to get a few hits on his target too, which is impressive. The pistol he's wielding isn't exactly known for its amazing handling. Let's have another look at those angry men. Looks like they're still trying to engage Blake. You can hear them yelling, "Come out, mate, you're scared." But yes, my hypothesis is correct. You can clearly see the aggression on their faces. Here, and there. Back to Morris, who is on the offensive yet again, this time placing 3 shots. Both the angry men are bearing down on him fast. He doesn't have time to build. Oh, and he's down. Morris is down. A mighty shotgun blast to the lower buttocks has toppled the young giant. He tried his best, even busted out a few new school strategies, but it wasn't enough. Fate dealt him a cruel blow, but at least we can say he went down fighting. Hashtag RIP Jim Morris. Back to the front line, where our 2 remaining finalists are still battling it out for first place, although it looks like Barry is currently winning that battle. It really is a beautiful morning. The current temperature is around a cool 55 degrees. Oh, it's in Celsius. Well, if our racers aren't killed by enemy squads, the storm, or the giant flying spider monkeys, they may just die of heat stroke, and you, the viewer, get to watch that in glorious high definition. Back to racing, and oh dear, Barry's missed some bandages, and the experienced Blake capitalizes on that mistake. Those extra meds could prove to be game-changing in the later stages of this match when our racers enter the storm. We saw an example of this in a previous final where Barry lost to Gregory Trump in an epic battle which beautifully showcased flying spider monkeys, rocket riding, and the storm. Barry was leading right up until the last 100 meters when he was knocked out by the storm and overtaken by Trump. I won't spoil too much of the race for those who haven't seen it because I highly recommend watching the replay. But back to Blake and Barry, who are approaching our newest addition to the course, the giant hole in the ground. Yep, we're real creative. In the crater you can find special crystal power-ups which will provide the user with a boosted jump for 30 seconds. Acquiring these crystals has proved to be challenging in the past as the divot is highly populated and many racers have lost their lives on its faces. Looks like Barry won't be risking it today, quite a smart tactical decision from him. He's in the lead by at least 50 meters and has no desire to attract any unwanted attention. This is the stage in the race where athletes begin to feel the heat and can sometimes make rash decisions, but Barry is not one of them. I think Blake is going to be forced into that crater though. He needs those crystals. They are his ticket back into this race. We check up on him now. It appears my hypothesis is correct once again. That's 2 from 2, thank you very much. Blake acquires a crystal pretty easily and it appears he hasn't yet been spotted. However, if anyone is on the lookout, they're bound to see him soon as he leaps around resembling a drunk kangaroo who's just rejected gravity in general. And off he goes. This could be the break he's been looking for. He's gaining on Barry fast, screaming, "I got you, Barry, the end is near." Barry's like, well, no, it's not. We're just past halfway, you bumhead. I'm pretty sure the whole end is near thing was just a reference. I was too busy watching Blake bash his face into his own staircase. Classic mistake. He's not doing well, is he? His chance. This was his chance, but obviously the bumhead insult got through his focus. Great psychological warfare from Barry. As Blake's super jump runs out of batteries, it looks like they're... Hang on a sec, what is that? Oh my god, our editor's... Oh my gosh, our editor's letting me down once again. That is sloppy. That cursor ruined the glorious high definition experience. This is an unacceptable thing to be seeing on live TV. Live TV. Live TV, and back to our race where Blake has finally gotten the drop on Barry and now leads by 4.3 meters. You can see the look of glee on his face as he screams over his shoulder, "Who's the bumhead now, you twit?" Barry doesn't respond. He looks to be eyeing that creek ahead of him, and I don't blame him. Running with wet shoes and socks has to be one of the worst experiences imaginable. Over to Blake Cam now, and oh, look at that, we've got a tree pull. Some noob obviously misjudged the amount of swings, and it's quite fortunate for our racers. We can see their game plans change immediately as soon as they see that pull. Barry waits for Blake to build. He's planning on saving his own resources until the time is right. One more slope to conquer. He slid right back down to where he started. Barry decides to build. Oh, great use of the shoulder by Barry. Blake's little slip opened up his left flank. Barry capitalizes brilliantly. Let's see that again. Yes, Barry strategically uses his body to counter Blake's vertical lead and takes the lead in style. Blake's coaches have their head in their hands as both competitors enter the outskirts of another highly populated area, the famed Tilted Towers. Blake is now exposed to Tilted Towers. Oh, and he's been spotted. Blake trying to avoid a storm of fire. Oh, that one just missed his head. Good duck from the veteran as he approaches the end of the spurt. It looks like he's going to make it away relatively unscathed. Back to our leader while the editors prepare the slow-mo replay. Barry has managed to stay in front and retain all his health points. Let's have a look at that replay. 79 shots were fired in the general direction, 2 only did damage, and even then they didn't actually connect, so I'm really not sure how they counted. No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. I'm sure the video referees will be reviewing that gunfight, but for now it's not going to make a lot of difference because Barry is just about to enter the danger zone, having gained a healthy lead on Blake. In the danger zone, the Storm, as it's nicknamed, racers will lose 1 health point every second. This is where those meds Blake and Barry prepared earlier will come into play. Will Barry's 5 bandages be enough to get him to the finish line? Only time will tell. Both our competitors will be travelling through Pleasant Park, which although deserted is definitely not going to be a pleasant experience due to the atmosphere just, eating them alive. Barry is now approaching the very ground where the football final was played a few nights previously. This is Fortnite Island's biggest football stadium, constructed in 2011 by famous architect named Lorenzo Piano. I know. No, anyway, that's an outstanding vertical leap. And back to the history lesson. Piano's biggest undertaking ever is this stadium, and it's an architectural gem. The final I mentioned was a sight to behold. It was a full house, 250 people showed up, and they almost made enough ticket revenue to pay the referee. I wish they paid me. Anyway, enough about me because Barry is just about to leave Pleasant Park, only a couple hundred meters to go, but the storm is really taking its toll. Will he have enough medical resources to take him to the finish line? I know Blake certainly hopes not. Speaking of Blake, you can see him in the background. I think I can hear him screaming. Is that something about a bumhead? We get a nice shot of the grass here. No, it's a cinematic shot of Blake. Jeez, he's in good shape for an 80-year-old. Shame about the face. As Blake approaches the final ride, Barry is already halfway up, but he's been held up while he applies his first aid. This could be Blake's chance, but no, he's also been forced to med while Barry draws ahead once again. This stoppage could cost Blake the race because Barry is screaming up the hill faster than Speedy Gonzalez. He really knows how to turn on the wheat bix when the time comes. No time for a graceful descent because Blake is up and running once again. And he's right on Barry's heels. That fall may force Barry to med once more before the finish line. However, it looks like Blake is in the same boat, or maybe not, because although they both have to heal, only one will win this event. At the moment, Barry is looking like the favourite. Only 40 short meters to go, and he's still doing well out in front. Yes, it looks like he's 3 or 4 lengths ahead, and nothing but a random meteor is going to stop him. And the winner of the Fortnite Olympic Games is Bob Barry. Full commitment there. What a close race. Blake was forced to med yet again right before the finish line. He'll have to make do with second place because nothing is going to do away from the fact that Bob Barry has just won the 2018 Fortnite Olympic Games. I'm being patched into Bob now. Bob, congrats mate, how are you feeling? Words of wisdom there from Mr. Barry, and on that note, I'm going to leave you. I've been Andy Marker, and like I always say, don't forget to wear your seatbelt. Hey guys, Marcus here. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I did spend a really long time on it, so I'd really appreciate it if you do leave a like and maybe even a comment below. If you have any friends who you think might enjoy this video, make sure to share it with them. If enough of you seem to like this kind of video, I will make another one. But yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. We've got new videos coming out every week and I don't want you to miss out. So, hopefully I'll catch you later.